We are going to be live for the NFL draft. Thursday, 7 p.m. Central, I think. If you are one of our friends, probably Jacob or Connor or someone else that isn't one of our friends.
Maybe Kyle.
Show up, watch along, listen to the draft. We're going to be live reacting. We're going to play a game where we're all going to predict every pick. Come have a lot of fun. It's going to be low production value, high fun.
High vibes. We're big vibes guys.
Hop in the chat. We'll chat with you all night. Fucking anybody.
We don't even have super chats. You can't even give us money. You just chat with us.
Yeah.
It's
We don't
all
want
good.
your money.
We don't want your money. We want your camaraderie.
Have fun with the episode.
Welcome back to another episode of the Football Frauds Podcast. My name is Miles.
My name is Connor.
And I'm Matt.
And we are here talking about flag plants. We're planting our flag at the top of the motherfucking hill and letting you know what country we represent. These are the guys we love the most compared to consensus in this draft class. You could call it our guys if you wanted to, but we're calling it flag plants. We're planting the flag like they did back in Korea and Vietnam and the great soldiers in the history of our nation have done.
The moon.
The moon.
I'm just trying to get it out of the box.
The
here. The
moon.
moon.
Is that flag still up there?
I heard.
There's like no there's no wind.
Is it windy in the moon?
Yeah.
I heard there's no wind because it doesn't turn because it's tidally locked.
Yeah. No, Connor doesn't believe the moon's real. So yeah, talk to him. Get in the comments. Bring it up later. He'll talk to you.
I'll talk to you about the moon.
If you had to plant your flag on one planet in our solar system, what would it be? Obviously, you can't plant your flag in the sun.
Yeah.
If I plant my flag, do I acquire things on it?
It depends on how you look at draft prospects.
I'm planning on
Do you
Earth,
acquire
man.
that human?
Ooh.
that
Hey, think smarter, not harder.
Holy fuck! You
I just
blew my
acquired
mind.
the United States of America.
Well, if you could plant your flag anywhere in the world, where would you plant it?
First thought is Djibouti, although I couldn't tell you exactly where that is.
Not Everest.
No.
No.
Do I get anything from this besides just a flag?
Do you get anything from planting your flag on a prospect?
You
Yes.
get pride. You
What
get
is that?
credit down the line.
Yeah. You get rapport.
So, what place in the world do you think would give you the most rapport credit?
Well, okay, if you're looking at countries as prospects, it changes the question altogether for me.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, you want high upside. India. Boom.
India.
I claim India.
Venezuela, good time to buy low.
They still have a high birth rate, and they're starting to transition into more capitalism, more production. China, United States, we're dying out. India's still making babies. I got India.
You could probably get Venezuela in the fourth.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, great value. Great value.
Yeah.
Oh,
If you want to hear
outstanding
more
pick.
about the socioeconomic, geopolitical
I thought
space.
Venezuela was going to fall for me.
Heck yeah. Well, okay, so we talked about our flag plants, our guys. What about the guys we don't like?
So we're doing 3 flag plants each in this category. 2 flag plants that are positive, 1 flag plant that is negative. And we're trying to think, what should we call a negative flag plant? Because in that case, are you planting your flag upside down? And Connor said, no, it wouldn't be an upside down flag plant. It would be
Butt rocket.
butt rocket. Pretty simple when you think about it. When you're planting a flag into the earth, it goes into the ground. When you're shooting a rocket out of your butt, you are essentially shooting a flag out of your butt up into the universe.
I thought we were shooting a rocket at someone's butt.
We are putting them in the rocket
Yeah.
and shooting them at the
No.
at a butt.
Well, someone needs to plant the flag on the moon, so we got to send someone out there.
No, but imagine it's an artillery unit where it's just one guy who stands up, bends over, they place a flag in his butt, and he shoots
Yeah.
it out like a rocket over the
Someone's
city
playing
walls.
taps in the background.
All right. All right. So all that is just for context. We talk about our guys, our flag plants. We're talking about guys we like. If you hear the term butt rocket, that's about guys that we are not high on. We will actually plant our
Butts.
butts
on their rocket.
on their rocket.
Whoa, okay. Speaking of things that we shouldn't say, why don't you plant your first flag over there, Connor?
All right. Well, so
You shouldn't say
You shouldn't say this.
You're going to regret this.
all right. So I have a guy here that I've been pretty high on since the beginning of the draft process, and honestly, there hasn't been much talk of him, but coming out of the season into the draft season, he was a name that everyone kind of knew. He just hasn't risen, hasn't fallen, just kind of stayed the same. Mm-hmm. And the guy I'm talking about is Jennings Dunker.
Ooh.
Who's a third-team All-American. Okay.
Quick trip, get yourself a dunker.
Heck yeah.
Oh, yeah, and he's a Culver's affiliate. I saw that.
Yeah, dude. The guy loves Culver's. He was born and raised in Iowa. Corn-fed white boy.
Amen.
Love him. He's got a ginger mullet. He was the 2-time Beef Days hay bale toss champion.
Oh.
And apparently that's actually a hard title to get.
I mean,
Like actually famous people try to get it, and this guy won twice.
that's crazy.
In high school?
No, in college.
Oh.
No, like, this guy goes to do it.
Was he a discus guy, shot put guy,
I don't know if he was a track guy in high school.
I swear I heard something about him in shop. I mean, it'd be crazy if you're the track coach and you're not getting Jennings Dunker throwing something. You
Quit your job.
You're losing at your job.
Resign.
Yeah. Well, actually, how he got recruited to Iowa was the coach there. Who's the coach at Iowa?
Kirk. Fucking, I can picture his face right now. He's an old white guy who looks angry all the time.
Yeah, he's awesome.
But also looks inspiring.
Yeah. Kurt Ferentz.
Something like that.
So he went to his high school, Dunker's high school.
Jennings. That's what you're about to. Jennings.
To watch another guy on his team.
And he said, Jennings, I love you.
Jennings and me is like
Yeah.
peas and carrots.
And Jennings went up to the coach and said, here I am. What do you think?
He had a hay bale with him.
Yep. Watch this
Coach,
shit.
look how this is going.
You ever been to Beef Days? But no, I really love this guy. He has violent movement at the point of attack and excellent leg drive. And when you look at it from a technique standpoint, this guy is everything you want from an offensive lineman in general. He has everything from the baseline down. Some of the knocks that he has on him is that it's almost viewed that there's not much more to untap with his body type. And
he's already 22.9, so he's older for a prospect.
Yep. And so he has a really hard anchor, absorbs bull rushes without giving any ground. Rarely walks back into the quarterback's lap, which is big when you think about setting the pocket and keeping the pocket there. But again, you guys can go in and find this information online about his strengths, his weaknesses. But the big things I love about this guy is his character. I love a character guy so much.
Family guy, good Christian values, corn.
And like when you think about like a lot of like NFL prospects and just guys that are good at football, there's some ego that comes with it.
Yeah.
And I was listening to an interview that he had, and they brought up how what were his thoughts on being the highest ranked offensive lineman in the Big Ten? And he goes, I don't know what fucking film they're watching. Because if they were watching the same film I'm watching, they'd see that there's a lot of things I need to get better on. And it's like, if I wouldn't have like seen it with my own eyes on video, I would say that's kind of a bullshit answer.
Yeah.
But you could tell that like he was genuine about. He's like, I'm not that yet. I need to get there. There's so many things I can get better on.
Yeah, if it's genuine, I vibe with that.
Yeah. But the last thing they're like about him is his favorite book is A Man's Search for Meaning.
Ooh.
Victor fucking, what's his name from the Holocaust?
Yeah.
Victor
Dang.
Frankl? Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, you think about guys that
Pharynx.
like you can get like a lot of personal growth stuff. It's popular, but like this book in particular, you got to be like a personal growth sicko to even understand.
Like you're pushing yourself to like decide to even open this book.
Yes. Yeah.
It's kind of sick.
No, but so all that being said,
Wait, will it cure my depression?
No.
Oh, okay.
Matt, you need much more than that.
Yeah, okay. I won't attempt it.
There's
You need
only
like
one
6
book.
servings, Matt.
Yeah. There's only one book that can do that, and
It's the Kuma Sutra. Kuma Sutra?
Kama Sutra.
Kama Sutra.
Yeah.
The Kuma Sutra.
Anywho's,
We don't know what that is.
consider my flag planted.
Dunked
on Jennings Dunker.
Dunk that.
Love
flag.
this guy. And honestly, if you're looking at his draft stock, I would put him in my top 40.
Yeah.
And when I'm looking at my flag plans, I'm looking at guys that I'm seeing that other people aren't.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see. I've heard his name. Like, can he beat out one of the other guards that we've heard about in the early second, like Basantis or Pregnon?
Rutledge.
Or is he going to fall like later because people are passing on him? Because there's different upsides for all those players.
And so he strikes me with a lot of similarity to Gray Zabel and Quinn Miners.
Small school guys.
Small school guys that don't have the biggest frame, but very versatile. And just have that like kind of like tenacious dog in them.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I like Dunker a lot. He played tackle at Iowa. A lot of people think he's a guard at the next level. Do you think he can play tackle?
I think he can. Yes, I know he can play tackle, but he's not going to be the best tackle in the league. He's versatile. I think his position's at guard, and he can do whatever the hell your team needs him to do. And he has the tape on every position.
Sure. You like him at guard of the Packers in the second round, I'm guessing?
Love him at guard of the Packers in the second round. Love him to guard at any team that has a need for guard.
He's got good Midwest values.
Yes. All right, who's up next here?
Matt.
I can hit it hard. All right, we're going to go a little more niche here. You guys certainly don't know him. Going to surprise you with the little boy known as Arvell Reese.
Oh, didn't know who that guy is.
I'm going back and forth today. You know, I got a lot of flags and I don't know where to put them. I'm always thinking in that way.
And you put it in the guy who's going to go second in the draft.
Well, I want to have his children. I want to, the money. I'm trying to get half of it. It's a whole thing. So I plant my flag in Arvell Reese. And you know what I'm thinking about all this? There's the David Bailey. He's the most productive. That's the conversation number 2 overall. Who do the Jets take? Mm-hmm. They have a needed edge. Do they take Reuben Bain? Do they take David Bailey? Do they take Arvell Reese? And I was on the Bailey train for a little bit because he had that production. He had the sacks. He has the really quick get off. But what else he has compared to Arvell Reese is a lot of experience playing edge. And I think there's a world, he's played 4 years in college where he has reached his ceiling. And just because we know that Arvell Reese has only played linebacker, hasn't even seen a lot of snaps. But I think there's a reason that Matt Patricia wanted to give him some snaps at edge, and we saw some flashes. And I'm just a little bit worried. What if we're passing up, not on Micah Parsons, but a Micah Parsons situation?
Yeah.
Where we see the effort, the athleticism, the crazy highlight plays, the beginnings of pass rush juice and moves and a varied skill set. But because we haven't seen it done at a consistent level, we're going to pass on it. And because Arvell Reese has that backup of being a linebacker, we know he can play linebacker at the NFL level. This guy's not gonna turn out into a 0 for your team. Like, he's gonna fit somewhere. He's not just a tweener. He can play linebacker. And I'm thinking about it, and I want the Jets to go take Arvell Reese and take a risk and have a guy play edge that hasn't played it full time. And basically, I'm drafting Trayvon Walker again over Aiden Hutchinson, but damn it, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
I mean, Matt, what would you say if someone who knows a lot about football, like a lot about football? Okay. What would you do if you said, he's good at football, but he's very scheme dependent, and I don't see him having success in every scheme. He has to be schemed up.
Glenn notorious for running base 4-3, doesn't run a lot of complex concepts like Mike McDonald would, where he's mixing in linebackers with edge.
Yeah, but then all the Jets fans are saying that he's bringing in a new D-line coach who's only ever coached 3-4, so then they theorize that, we don't know what the Aaron Glenn plus new D-line coach, where I don't know his name, probably Kurt Ferentz, if we're being honest.
Promotion.
Yeah, he wrote a Holocaust book. Jets D-line coach. So I'm not too worried about the Aaron Glenn thing, and this is not necessarily a prediction because I don't know what they prioritize, but what I recommended to them was David Bailey for the longest time, but I just don't think he has that burst, and he's going to be a speed rusher, but he could be closer to the Will McDonald, Bryce Huff version of a speed rusher where you really don't even want. I think his run defense is fine. I don't think it's going to be quite that bad.
Yeah.
But at number 2 overall, I'm ready for them to push for the ceiling, and I'm saying go for Arvell Reese. And I think there is a flag plant because it's such a big pick, and I've committed. Arvell Reese is the guy.
Sonny Styles is the top linebacker in this class, but there's a not a small percentage of people who would have Reese above Styles just as a linebacker in this class to be the top linebacker in the class if he was declaring as such.
Yeah.
More versatility.
Yeah, more, and you can just like walk him down a little more often. Like he's playing linebacker, but he's a threat to rush the passer at any given point. He's probably quicker to like running lanes, I think. Maybe not quite as good in coverage.
I think the biggest note on it is, regardless, if I'm lined up against Arvell Reese at linebacker or at edge, I'm still scared as shit, regardless. Regardless of which position he plays at. And knowing that, I don't know why I wouldn't take a second overall pick on him.
Do you guys have a what you would do, Reese or Bailey?
Reese. I've been Reese for a while.
Okay.
There's really nothing came out, nothing changed. It's just people are getting fatigued on it.
Yeah, I went back and forth.
Yeah.
I've gone back and forth. The reason that people have been reporting that Bailey was going to go second is because Aaron Glenn, the head coach of the Jets, is in his second year. He was terrible last year. And they are thinking that Glenn wants to take a guy who provides a higher floor to win games right now. Because if Glenn wins 2 or 3 games next year, chances are he's out.
If he wins 5
was Glenn
or 6
drafting?
games, he might be fired.
So that's the question: is
True.
how much influence does Glenn have in the draft room?
Yeah,
People think if they're treating him as Glenn's our guy moving forward, then there's probably a good chance they're going Bailey because he wants someone he knows is good right now. We know Bailey's good at pass rusher right now.
Yeah.
Reese is probably not going to be an elite producer at edge right away because he doesn't have the pass rush repertoire. He's played edge for half a season.
Maybe not year 1, but you have 5 years of cost control, and I think by year 2 you could potentially see those flashes already. And
certainly,
this is going to be a conversation for the next 8 years. We're still seeing it with the 2020 draft. Trayvon Walker, Aiden Hutchinson, that was a huge deal. What those teams made there. So if I'm wrong here, you guys can flame me forever, but I'm calling my shot.
No, if I'm the Jets, I would personally go Reese too, just in the chance that he has real upside as being a top 8 edge rusher in the NFL. Bailey has that, but his ceiling is definitely a little bit lower than Reese's. Reese's is a much more pure, raw athlete who provides more promise.
He's a better athlete, and he's just more violent. I don't think Bailey can reach that ceiling of the top 10 edge rusher in the NFL because he's just not vicious, hateful enough when you watch him playing where it's just holy cow, this guy will stop at nothing.
Plays hard, just doesn't have the power in his body.
He's just lanky.
Yeah. But I would love to know where your flag is going, and I want to watch it go.
My first flag is being planted in Arizona. An offensive tackle from Arizona State, Max Ihanacher. I used to think it was Iheanacho, or now everyone's saying Ihanacher. Max Ihanacher was born in Nigeria. He moved to L.A. when he was 13. His high school didn't have a football team. He went to a small high school, so he played soccer and basketball in high school. He didn't play a down of organized football until 2021. So he played basketball in high school. He played AAU. His head coach in AAU, his junior year of high school, senior year of high school, was like, listen, dude, you're really good. You're 6'5", 280. You definitely could probably play Division III basketball and be a really solid center. But to be honest with you, bro, you should fucking try and play football because you have this frame that is super rare. Took his advice. He originally enrolled at East Los Angeles Community College as a tight end. By the end of his second season playing football there, so he's played, think about this. A guy joins your high school basketball team. He hasn't played any basketball when he's 14. And then 2 years later, he's a 4-star recruit to go to college. Ihanacher, after his second season playing football, the first season he played tight end, first season playing tackle, he was a 4-star recruit in the transfer portal.
That's dope.
Transferred to ASU. He began his career in ASU in 2023 as a backup. Injuries forced him to his starting role by week 3. He ended up starting 5 games that year and didn't allow a single sack over 300 snaps. He allowed 3 sacks his junior year in 2024, and then his senior year, he allowed 0 sacks over 484 pass blocking snaps. He's 6'6", 321, and he carries 321 pounds, kind of like Penei Sewell does, if you know who that is. He's fucking thick, and none of it looks like fat at all. He moves incredibly fluidly for his size, rare movement skills, in my opinion, the guy who carries 320 better than anyone else in this class. He moves like a tight end, but he plays tackle. 34-inch arms. He ran a 4.9 140, which is the 96th percentile, 95th percentile broad jump, 6'11 wingspan, and get this, Relative athletic score, which combines all of your different testing and scores across the whole combine, he had a 9.86, and he's 23rd all time for tackles at the combine in terms of relative athletic score.
Do you know, did he do all the testing, or?
This is just what I had. I don't think he did all the testing. He didn't do some of the cones and stuff like that.
Yeah, Connor would say it's fake news. He's probably right, but it's still he's a great athlete.
Yeah.
For the sake of him being Miles' guy, it's real news.
Yeah.
So I watched his tape over again. He played Texas Tech this year.
Mm-hmm.
Arizona State doesn't play a lot of really good teams out west. So he went against Overhyped, who's a projected third-round pick at edge from Texas Tech, and aforementioned David Bailey, the top producer in the college football this past year.
Who sucks?
Overhyped did absolutely nothing against him. He pushed the pocket moderately once against him, but Ihanacher just kind of swallowed it up. Overhydt's a speed rusher. Ihanacher is already a very good NFL level adjuster to speed. He moves his feet like exceptionally, like basketball, soccer player. Well, Height didn't stand a chance. Bailey switched back and forth between left and right side. Ihanacher is a right tackle. Ihanacher held up surprisingly well. He only gave up 2 pressures, both to Bailey. In that game, when Bailey faced their left tackle, he finished with 2 sacks, 3 tackles for loss, and 12 pressures. His best game of the year. Mm-hmm. So 2 pressures against Ihanacher, 10, and then 2 sacks on the other side. Bailey was a game breaker in that game. I went through all the reps. Bailey had 1 immediate win against Ihanacher. It was on a ghost move on the opposite side. And as an inside run to the other side, he got right past him. It didn't end up mattering. And then on his 2 pressures, he had beat him with a swim move and then a ghost move, which is kind of his go-tos. Easy power. I listened to a podcast with Nate Tice and his dad, Mike Tice, who was a former head coach for the Vikings and an offensive line coach in the NFL for 20 years. He has a certain type. Last year, his type was the first guy on his board was Josh Connerly. The second guy on his board was Justin Simmons. Elite athletes, guys who are lanky, don't necessarily have like NFL level production in college.
Yeah, totally.
But fit an athletic profile that Ihanacher fits, which is fast, quick, but still has power. Not necessarily a bunch of elite film. Mike Tice had Ihanacher as his OT4 behind Maui Noah, Fano, and Freeling. Freeling kind of fits the same profile.
Totally.
As Ihanacher, long arms, super quick feet.
Juiced up, big body.
Great athlete. I trust Mike Tice on this. He's kind of my go-to offensive tackle guy. He does 1 podcast a year. He's
Vikings legend.
Vikings legend. He talked about how Ihanacher blocks on his toes and kind of noted how this isn't taught at any level, kind of speaking to Ihanacher's like lack of coaching that he's received thus far, and he'll do a lot better at dealing with power if he gets on his heels. Ihanacher, to me, I think his upside is being a top 5 tackle in the NFL. The way I watch him move doesn't remind me of anyone else in this class. The way I've heard a variety of people talk about him. Nate Tice, his younger son, has him as the 15th player on his board, the second tackle. He has Monroe Freeling as the first tackle. Once again, a very specific athlete, long arm type.
They just like bodies.
Yeah.
Bodies over film.
Yeah, which is an NFL guy thing.
I've been there.
God.
So I love Ihanacher. He's 16th on my board. He's my 3rd tackle, I believe. I'm all in on him.
Oh, heck yeah, man. All right, now, so I gave you guys Jennings Dunker, who I have a flag planted on, right?
Mm-hmm. And
I'm about to give you guys my player this year. The guy that I love more than anyone else in this draft.
The Connor, my guy, official 2026 my guy of the 2026 official draft officially.
And for some reason, it probably comes up in every single mock draft. Just draft prospect video that we do.
Mm-hmm.
Even non-draft prospect videos. But last year, it was Alec Iomanor. There was something about the rhetoric that people were saying and using.
For some reason, it comes up.
For some reason.
Yeah. Who keeps doing that?
The right people were using about Alec, I didn't buy at all. Fell in love with him as a prospect, and just as like kind of like his background as a human being as well.
Yeah.
He's like a guy that I would put my personal out of everyone. This is him. This year, that guy for me is Keontae Scott, cornerback. Out of Miami. He's 6 foot, 195. And a lot of his knocks and his question marks were related to his speed. It's like, okay, is he just a production guy? Is that all he has? Can he keep up top speed? What's up with this guy? He ran a 4.33 at his pro day. And for those who don't know, that's pretty freaking fast.
Yeah, that's like got to be 92.5 percentile.
Something like that, Matt.
Yep.
And like faster than a lot of these guys that are like claimed as speed guys.
No, he's crazy.
Yeah. So last year he was the best run defender in college football per PFF grade. He posted 64 tackles, 13 tackles for loss, and 5 sacks as a cornerback. He also had 2 pick sixes.
No, he basically plays like a linebacker at 200 pounds.
Yeah. And he had 2 pick sixes, and one was that 75-yard pick six against was it?
I don't know if it was Ole Miss or Alabama or
It was
Indiana.
in the college football playoff, though. I think. I can't remember. But anyway,
No, I don't know.
Thorpe Award semifinalist. And he actually got injured this year, so that production, there is a gap in there. And then when he came back from a foot injury, he recorded 10 tackles, 2 sacks, and 1 forced fumble against Texas A&M in the college football first round. And that 72-yard was against Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl. Some things he does well in coverage. We talked about his run defense and just what he does kind of on the line. He reads the QB really well in zone.
Mm-hmm.
And so he has multiple facets of his game that he has tape on and he has production at. He has extensive experience at multiple positions, like outside corner, nickel, and some safety reps. Miami also played him as linebacker sometimes. It's like this like Swiss Army knife of a player.
He's better against the run than most power 4 linebackers, I feel like.
Literally crazy. And so something I'm going to say here that might piss Miles off, or you too, Matt. I don't see the gap between Keontae Scott and Caleb Downs being that far.
I mean, they just play different positions, right?
No.
Caleb Downs is not going to play slot.
He's not.
You think Keontae Scott's going to play safety?
I'm saying their skill set is pretty dang similar.
Okay. Scott, unbelievable run defender. Probably a better run defender in terms of just pure gap shooting than Downs.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a zone cover corner. He's not going to play cloud cover 3.
I want to challenge you this next week, go through and try to find Keontae Scott's coverage reps.
Okay.
And if you're seeing what I'm seeing, it's not that far off.
I haven't watched his coverage reps. I've seen a lot of his run game stuff, but
because that's the highlight stuff. That's the sexy stuff that he does.
I've just heard kind of universally across the class that he doesn't project to be a awesome man coverage defender.
No,
I've heard
he's zone cloud guy.
Nope.
You can't swivel his hips. Like you love him firing off the line of scrimmage, but once a guy is trying to pull a move on him, he's not gonna.
With me, you love his instincts, and he has the physical traits to cover. And so that's when you have him in a zone concept, something like a free safety, a nickel.
Which a lot of the NFL is doing the majority of the time lately.
Exactly. And I see Caleb Downs playing that same exact thing. And we look at production and we look at tape. For me personally, Caleb Downs is still ahead of him. I'm not saying that Caleb Downs is worse than Keontae Scott. I'm just saying Keontae Scott is not that far from Caleb Downs in terms of skill and what they can do. I would increase the gap between them because Keontae Scott is 24 years old.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that.
That's the big knock on Scott. If Scott was 22 like Downs, I think he would probably be a consensus late first guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was going to say, right now, Keontae Scott, I have him again. Top 35 is where I have him on my board.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't be surprised if I had him top 25 if he was 22 years old.
He's at 64 on the consensus board, so you're definitely high up on him.
He could easily be top 20. I think it'd be consensus like 25-ish if he was 22.
And it's like I get why people aren't coming around to him. He does have some like big stamp things that are like, don't know about that.
His
that
body's capped out. He's got nowhere to go.
They have his age, and then his missed tackle rate is a stat that is always plugged. But
BS.
It's also like other corners other corners aren't asked to do what Keontae Scott is asked to do.
Because in order to have a missed tackle, you have to be charted as a tackle attempt, and like you can be a guy that gets a ton of tackle attempts because you are flying to the ball all the time, but you're like getting a hand, like
it's almost like, are you just asking me not to? If the chance is really low of me getting that tackle, you just asking me not to attempt it.
That stat can be okay, but you got to be really careful when you're looking at it.
Yep.
Do you have a comp for Scott?
Caleb Downs. No, I honestly, I was thinking about that. We brought it up in the defensive prospects episode. Because I'm a Packers fan, I've seen someone that has this same kind of build and play style there. The closest I can get is Javon Bullard, but only from play style but Bullard came in as a safety, and they're playing him in the role that I view Keontae Scott in. I view Scott as being significantly better than Bullard did.
He's Bullard, except he's absolutely insane. He doesn't care about contact, and he has a rocket in his butt. Not in a bad way.
Exactly.
In the right way.
In the right way.
And so it's hard for me to find a comp for him. I want to say someone like Eman Mori, but Eman Mori is just
he's better in coverage, and he's way more athletic.
Different size-wise.
Yeah. And so it's hard for me to find a comp.
Yeah.
I mean, he's nuclear against the run, and then there's questions against, depending on who you ask on pass coverage, and there's not a lot of slot corners that are currently filling that profile.
I could see him as a first down nickel, second down free safety, third down linebacker. I could see him. I would think I'd be happy with him at all of those positions.
For third and long, if you wanted to. Then again, you don't want him in coverage. It's going to be very interesting to see how a team wants to deploy him.
Yep. And again, he has his knocks, but similar to Dunker, it's not just his tape. It's not just his skills. I brought it up in the defensive prospects episodes. If you haven't seen that, you should go back and watch it. We talk about more than just these specific prospects that we're talking about, but everyone at the University of Miami, in terms of their staff, their equipment managers, their food staff, they all singled out Keontae Scott as being their favorite player out of everyone in that program. Keontae Scott.
They all went to his birthday party.
Yeah, dude. Draft
Everyone,
day. Shout out.
the whole school was there.
Why weren't they at your birthday party? No, but that says something. It does. It says something about the guy's character. It says something that he cares about being a good human being. And if I'm planting my flag on someone that I want to root for the rest of their career, there has to be that personability aspect. There has to be that story behind it.
Mm-hmm.
They have to like books about the Holocaust.
Yeah.
They have to win beef day.
They have to make love to the lunch lady. Yeah, no.
Exactly.
Amen.
Yeah. Scott's, I'm going to cheer for him. He's going to be incredibly fun to root for.
Yeah.
The question is, where does he get drafted, and then how does he get deployed?
Yeah, if a talented coordinator gets his hands on him, I'm going to be super hopeful. If he goes to a guy who plays vanilla defense with no movement, be a little more scared.
Yeah, if he's stuck in man coverage a lot, you don't feel good about him.
That's the thing. It's like it's the same Arvell Reese kind of thing. I view Arvell Reese.
Agreed.
He's got to be schemed up. You don't take him at 2 and then not build. At least give him the potential to rise up.
You want to use those players to surprise and throw off the offensive coordinator's plan, the quarterback's plan.
Mm-hmm.
If the offense can go into the week knowing exactly what those two players are going to do on Sunday, you're going to scheme around them and you're probably going to beat them up.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Versatility is his strength.
Maybe not for Reese, but maybe.
And so that is me planting my flag on Keontae Scott.
Boom. Okay, I got another flag plant for you. This one is one that really surprised me, but I'm taking a look at the rankings today, saying if I'm a GM and I really have to figure out what am I going to use my most valuable asset I get in the entire year, I'm kind of just thinking about what do I view the first round as? What do I want to get out of it?
Mm-hmm.
And one that kind of surprised me is Clemson offensive tackle Blake Miller. Do you have that, Miles?
Let's hear it.
That's your negative?
Let's hear it.
Well, we're going debate. Are you butt rocketing into the sun? I think we just got to get it out.
No,
of here.
you have to go.
I want to
You have to go.
Okay. Okay, you can do this. You got it. Can I have a second? I'll just go. Okay.
This is elite for content.
Blake Miller. All right. I'm picturing I have haters in the world and I'm ready to face them on. Here's what I have to say about Blake Miller. I'm going to look at the consensus board and tell you the names of the 4 guys before him right now. Keldrick Falk, Akeem Mesidor, Omar Cooper Jr., and Emmanuel McNeil-Warren. You get to draft a guy in the first round and you get to have him on your team for 5 years at a set contract rate, and then you get a chance to have exclusive contract rights to extend them. Like, if you're looking at what a first round pick is, this is your chance. And when you're looking at positional value in the NFL and what these guys get paid on a contract, I think when you come to a first round pick and you're a fan of a team, you want to think about your team becoming elite within one pick. One pick can take us to the mountaintop. Like, you want to pick Drake May or Aiden Hutchinson. Like, you want to have this guy that goes nuclear. You want to pick Kyle Hamilton or TJ Watt. Like, that's later. Those are guys later in the first round.
Jefferson,
a guy that brings you all the way. But I think there's something to be said about if your team in the later teens, the early 20s, like, where is Blake? Yeah, he's at 24 right now. So say your team at 20, that would be slightly above where he's projected. And you think you can contend, you're building, you are in that right range. To get a tackle that has a really high floor, that has the athleticism, like, let me look at what I got for him.
I can tell you.
I don't.
No,
you're
no.
gonna start talking?
No. This is you, Matt. You're planting
And
your
I
flag.
never got to crap on Ianicher. I like Ianicher. I like all. Here's my take on the offensive line class. I think all of them should be drafted because setting your offensive line, I think, builds structure that your whole team can improve around. Your offensive coordinator can build what he wants a scheme to be. Your quarterback can get more competent. Your receivers can get more valuable reps. I think offensive line has downfield effects, and that's why I chose Blake Miller. Doesn't mean I don't like Ianicher. But when you're talking about Ianicher, you did not even mention at all how, like, his use of, like, his hands, like, when he approaches a guy, whether he strikes him early or late, like, he doesn't, because he has that limited experience, he doesn't have that game plan. Where you compare that to Blake Miller, who doesn't have the same athletic profile, but has 54 starts at Clemson. He's 6'7", 317, long-armed feller. He's got great technique. He's a great mover. You love him on the run for zone run schemes. His number one thing you're going to flaw him for is he doesn't got the anchor. He doesn't got that junk in the trunk. So against power rushers, like, you could picture Jared Verse dumping him on the ground on some reps in the game.
I can picture it.
But the thing about the NFL is there's only so many Jared Verses. There's lots of other guys. And also, like, if you have this specific offensive tackle that maybe doesn't play the best around strength, you can influence your scheme around that. But when you have an elite pass protector and zone runner, like, I saw a comp of Caleb McGarry, the right tackle for the Falcons. He might have just retired.
Yep.
But he's someone that played consistent football for the Falcons for a long time. They extended him not at a crazy rate. I think he was like $17 or $18 million a year. But they had a lot of great running schemes with him. Bijan had a lot of great years. When he was injured, it was a huge blow to their team. And I think what it comes down to is offensive line consistency. Mm-hmm. If you're at pick 20 in the draft, you want to have a home run, but having someone that, like, is going to hit 54 games. He did not miss a single game in college. He got continually better. Is this
He didn't miss a single game?
No.
I don't think so.
Freshman year, senior year, started every game.
Maybe
every snap.
he missed one or two, but
I was going to say, I
played every game.
I was looking at PFF, and it says he has some DNPs, but...
Okay.
Oh, I thought he played every game.
My understanding is that he elite always was there. And I just think, don't take Omar Cooper. He didn't show up until year 4. Akeem Mesidor, he's 25 years old. Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, that's a safety. He doesn't get paid the same at the NFL level. And Keldrick Falk, I think he's a guy I like. He's got the size. He can build into it, but there's more Blake Miller is going to round out your offensive scheme. He has a flaw, but you know what it is? Blake Miller.
Is that the flag plant?
Yep.
Oh my gosh, Blake Miller's weak. He's not strong enough.
And we're going to fast forward.
I don't know who that was. That was someone.
Miles has a butt rocket here.
Let me tell you about one of my flag plants. Let me tell you about a guy, all right? 6'7", 320, 97th percentile vertical jump, 91st percentile broad jump, 94th percentile bench press, 83rd percentile 40, 34-inch arms. And hear this out. Even better than Ihanicher, 9.9 relative athletic score, 17th all-time among tackles at the NFL Combine.
Dang, this guy's pretty good.
He started every game of his 4-year career with 3,800 snaps. He allowed 0 sacks his junior year and 2 sacks his senior year. What's his name? Blake Miller.
Oh. Huh. Who'd have thunk? I didn't know that.
It sounds like I want to draft him.
Oh, you're planting
right
a flag
now.
on him? You also like this
love
guy?
this guy. We should draft him, right?
Oh.
Miller was a late riser in the process. He's an elite athlete. He's a 4-year starter. And the question is, why was he a late riser if he started for 4 years consecutive at Clemson, and he's very obviously an elite athlete?
Ooh, can I answer?
Yeah.
Because early draft cycles are based around hype, not around real NFL scouts looking for real NFL teams.
So you would think that real NFL scouts looking at real NFL teams would have scouted this guy who already had 3 years of experience going into this year, right?
The early NFL,
Matt,
NFL draft cycle is based around content creators who are trying to get clicks, not around people who are trying to win in the NFL.
I would have a rebuttal to that. Being on Clemson, it seems like everyone else at Clemson was a projected top 10 draft pick.
Let me answer. The 2025 Clemson Tigers, pretty sure that's what they are, had a lot of struggles, but Blake Miller fought through all of it, and his draft stock only improved as he kept getting better. He didn't let the downfall of the team influence how he showed up every day to work as a consistent tackle.
How could a 3-year junior who played every snap from the day he stepped on campus not come out his junior year with elite athleticism? Especially when he's one of the best testers to ever play the game.
Where's this for Keontae Scott? Keontae Scott is ancient.
I think he's a late riser.
That's my guy, Matt. That's my guy, dude.
I think Blake Miller is a late riser because his film isn't good. A few months ago, he was considered to be a consensus late second, early third rounder because of his traits and his experience. He's a captain for Clemson, 2 years, consummate leader.
That's good.
A guy that everybody loved in the locker room.
I like that.
I think everyone talked themselves in the narrative around him. Iron Man, team captain, consummate off-the-field winner, weight room guy. And then when the combine came around, it was generational athlete, ideal tackle traits and testing. How can this guy not be a no-brainer, consensus, all these starts, first rounder, no doubt, right? It all makes sense. RAS score, elite, all this production and experience. On paper, that makes sense, but I watched the film and I think it tells a different story.
Ooh. Because we pay for film.
We do pay for film.
Yeah, we're rich.
So Steve Mensch, who's with Todd McShay in his podcast, is a former offensive lineman who specializes in offensive line evaluation, said in February-ish that he thought Miller was a day 3 guy. He watched all of his tape and thought that he got beat far too often against subpar competition in the ACC. Miller didn't really face any real competition or any real power rushers specifically. And when he did face power rushers, he had very poor film. He noted that even though Miller had gained 10-plus pounds since his freshman year, he still couldn't deal with power with even a developed frame. He also said that Miller made a surprising amount of mental mistakes for such an experienced player, misdiagnosing blitzes pre-snap and not adjusting to stunts. Over the course of the next few weeks, McShay, who's a notorious bully, and the collective NFL community kind of just bullied him into believing that Miller could at least be an early third rounder, and that's where Mensch kind of settled on his final grade, early third. But the reason he gave for his change of heart revolved around his leadership and his toughness. He didn't change his mind about the tape. I watched him versus LSU this year, the only game we were able to find on him. Our cut-ups, the film we pay for, only had a few games from him. LSU has no NFL-level edge guys this year. He got consistently stood up and pushed back by guys who were smaller than him, and he consistently lost a leverage battle once guys got their hands into his pads. It was shocking how easy the pocket collapsed on the right side consistently throughout that game. And then I watched him in the opener versus Georgia 2024. Georgia had acclaimed power rusher, run stopper Michael Williams, the 10th overall pick in the draft, and then guys who kind of stunted to the outside and who he faced occasionally in run blocking, Warren Brinson, tackle from the Packers, and then Tyrion Ingram Dawkins, a 5th rounder from the Vikings, and then Christian Miller, who played a little bit in that game from this year's class. He also had reps against Jalen Walker. He had 3 reps against Jalen Walker, and Walker made him look like a fool. He cooked him on 1 rep with a ghost move, and then Walker on that rep had Klubnik by the legs. It would have been his only allowed sack that year, but Klubnik flew it away at the last second. Michael Williams manhandled on 3 different run reps, discarding him and breaking up the backfield on multiple plays. In the Georgia and LSU games, Miller makes notable mental mistakes. I counted 3 or 4 times that he misidentified pressures and blocked the wrong player in a stunt. Despite being in the ACC, Blake Miller didn't face Ruben Bain the past 2 years, which was a matchup I really wanted to see. I couldn't find any film in the 2024 CFP against Texas, but I read multiple articles, and apparently it's his worst game of the season. I don't think Miller has any track record of holding up against NFL-level power, and that's where I'm concerned about him. He's obviously a great athlete, and I love his ability to move on the outside. I love his experience. I love his athleticism. But he bends too much at the waist, and he gets caught leaning a lot. He's always caught leaning to one side, and he falls to counters a lot. He relies on his athleticism and power far too often. And I think against elite power edge rushers, even average power edge rushers in the NFL, he's going to get swallowed alive. So the question is, for a guy with this much experience and natural athleticism, why does the film not back it up, and why hasn't it been thought about this way the entire time? I think we looked at this offensive tackle class, looked at all the teams with offensive tackle needs across the NFL. We got 3 months into the process, and we said, look at Blake Miller. He's a guy who has started all 4 years. He's an elite guy. He's a captain in the locker room. Everyone loves him. Got a great reputation there. And the thing is with Miller, we've got a massive sample size on him. And in my opinion, even at this point, after 4 years of college starting, I think Ionicher already looks better. Ionicher passes the eye test for me. Ionicher has a strong core and hips. He never gets caught leaning. He's always balanced. He doesn't have that natural hand placement. And maybe Miller could come out this first year and look better than Ionicher. That would be a little bit shocking to me, but it wouldn't be crazy given how much experience that he has. I think Ionicher has quicker feet and much more level, like natural soccer level balance. Ionicher has 5 years of experience playing football. Blake Miller's been in O-line camp since he was 10.
So you said a lot of things there, Miles.
A lot of things.
Many things.
Multiple.
And it seems like one of you guys has a flag planted in them, and the other one is sending them on a butt rocket.
That's right.
There's a butt rocket.
I think that this is very interesting here. And there's only one person that didn't really give a shit about Blake Miller.
Also, for the record, Matt, I hate to expose you. Matt texted me before this episode asking if I had chosen Ionicher because he was going to choose Ionicher as one of his guys.
Yeah, I liked Ionicher.
Until now. Now he's out.
No, well, I like Ionicher, but you can't just have a profile for a guy, have a reason you like him, and list zero downsides. He made Ionicher seem like Joe Alt the way he talked about him. That's my only thought.
All right, okay. So here's what I want to do. Matt, you tell me where Blake Miller should go. Miles, you tell me where Blake Miller should go, and I'm going to tell you which one I'm buying.
I mean, it depends on the team. Like, so he could fall, rise because of the nature of the NFL draft. But I would say pick 20 is a good spot to pick Blake Miller.
He will go higher than this because of experience and traits, but I would take Miller at the top of the third. Just because of experience and traits, I think he'll be a totally fine swing tackle.
Can I just make a couple points quick?
You can,
and you can make more after. You know, we can go back and forth.
This is a Blake Miller podcast.
Welcome back to the Blake Miller Show. So, Miles, you like Nate Tice, right? You're a big Nate Tice guy. I mean, you were mentioning him and his dad. I thought you were making out with him in the closet.
Yeah,
Nate Tice likes Blake Miller.
One podcast a year. Miles listens to it.
Mm-hmm. It's his favorite podcast. So I'm just gonna list a couple names. You know, I didn't have time to write a poem about Blake Miller. Sorry, guys. Just I didn't have all that time this week. But Daniel Jeremiah, Blake Miller, 19th overall.
Oh yeah.
Nate Tice, Blake Miller, 18th overall.
Oh yeah.
And Miles's favorite daddy, Todd McShay, Blake Miller, 13th overall.
I made my point about how McShay talked Mensch into this. I disagree with McShay. And this is actually my example of me personally separating myself from analysts.
These guys have watched film. They have played football, and they've watched film for 3 years. And they have Blake Miller 18th overall.
I just don't personally identify with analytic consensus. I listen to them. I form my own opinions, but I don't just blindly take what they take their analysts
I know, but
rankings
how come
to
when you listen
to
analysts, you give their credentials as in why they have more reason to give a point that we should all agree with?
Oh, because they know ball more than me and they have more experience. But I have my own personal opinions.
I agree. I'm just saying there are consenting views.
Oh, certainly. And the consensus is that Blake Miller is going to be that good. And the reason he's my butt rocket is because I think he's not going to be that good. And I have opinions outside of just the consensus.
The problem is how do we settle this? You know, is it versus Ionicher? Because I don't have Ionicher down. Like if someone took Ionicher over Miller, I'd be fine with that.
I'm saying this right here.
No, I'm saying
right
like in 2 years from now, like we're at a bar and we're like, F you, Blake Miller's good. And he's like, no, Blake Miller
he
sucks. Like, how do we decide whether he's good or he sucks in like 3 years from now?
We'll dive into that one. We'll figure that out.
We'll probably figure it out.
Honestly, right now, with the just positional value of tackles, I know that Matt's probably right.
Here's
Matt's probably right.
The reason
here.
I chose Blake Miller is because I was looking at the whole first round and I'm like, Lomu, Ianicher, Proctor, who was I just saying? Blake Miller. All those guys should go in the top 30 easily.
Yeah.
Like I'm looking at the opportunity cost of the other players you could draft and I'm like, don't convince yourself you need a safety or this certain corner or this linebacker here. Like, just maybe you have an offensive line you like right now. One injury or one guy on a contract. Like, I like this offensive line class, and don't overthink it.
Right, just don't overthink it. Just take the guy who has great traits, a bunch of experience, and actually isn't good at football.
So good.
And so that being said, I think he is deserving of a first-round pick. I think that is a fair thing that everyone in this room can agree on. He's probably deserving of it. But if I'm that team, I'm not liking it because if you're taking positional value out of it, I'm on Miles' side. I don't know how you play that long and not have tape that at least some tape that's like, this guy really good at football.
He is really good at football. He just has one
he's a chronic second rounder.
No, it's not sexy to have like elite hand placement and timing and ability to like know exactly where to be and to like line up your runs.
I think that's actually very sexy.
But what it is sexy is like, this guy is so effing strong. And like, you can have different traits to your profile.
He's a 9.9 RAS, dude.
He has good burst and good speed, but it's just like, how is he going to hold up in a man gap running scheme, and how is he going to go against Jared Verse sprinting into his face?
All right, if I have to listen to another second of Blake Miller talk, I am going to put myself on a butt rocket.
Tune in next week for another episode of the Blake Miller
Part 2.
We just have every week we just have like a 5-minute Blake Miller segment. All right, so Miles went to the butt rocket, but Miles is going to tell you a little bit about another guy that he likes right now.
We'll get to the positive side. This young man does not have size and elite starting experience like young man Blake Miller. This young man started his career at James Madison University. He's 5'8.5", second percentile, 182 pounds, 12th percentile, 29.5-inch arms at corner, first percentile arm length, a critical piece in what determines where corners are drafted and how effective they are generally. But he ran a 4.36 which is 96th percentile, so Kante Scott's actually probably like 98th. He had a 43.5-inch vertical, 99th percentile, and 9.5-inch hands despite his small frame, 84th percentile. We're talking about D'Angelo Pons.
Ooh.
Pons was 150 pounds his senior year of high school, which explains why he didn't really get recruited. This past season, he allowed 0 touchdowns. He had a 3% missed tackle rate at 180 pounds, similar to Scott, a little bit lighter, but an incredible tackler despite his size. 4th in the country among cornerbacks in missed tackle rate this year, and 8th in PFF grade overall. He only had 1 pick this year, but he was a pick 6 on the first snap of the CFP semis against.
It was such a good rep.
It was he
saw it all the way.
He's a ball jumper. That's what he does. He reads routes incredibly well. He's very smart. But he jumped the route against Dante Moore, my guy, on that first play of that game and kind of shut it from the beginning. They were playing from behind. In the Ohio State game, in the Big Ten championship game, they had Smith shadow Pons on 70% of the they had Pons shadow Jeremiah Smith, who's the top receiver prospect since he'd be one of the best receiver prospects in the past decade. He's going to go in the top 5 next year.
Yeah, Jamar Chase, Calvin Johnson, you're getting into that level.
Yeah, like elite. They had Pons shadow him for 70% of his snaps. Jeremiah Smith finished for 8 catches with 144 yards in that game. Against Pons, he had 4 targets with 1 catch for 8 yards.
Ow!
Pons and Jeremiah Smith were actually teammates in high school.
No way. Where
Florida. At? Someplace in Florida. I'm not sure.
Was it IMG or?
No, it was
couldn't have been because he's only 150. But wow,
a smaller regional high school in Florida. Yeah. They were teammates, which maybe explains his. I mean, you could paint the picture either way, whether Smith can beat Pons because he's faced him 100 times, or whether Pons can beat Smith because he's faced him 100 times. In an interview with Indiana's defensive coordinator Bryant Haynes, Joel Klatt, who called, I think, 3 or 4 different Indiana games this year. Haynes said that their entire defensive plan revolved around Pons shutting down one half of the field. All of their complex zone blitz packages were made possible by the assumption that the outside receiver who Pons was on wouldn't need any help. Indiana defense this year is second in scoring, 10.8 points per game, just behind Ohio State. Daniel Jeremiah said that every year he has a gut feeling about guys that he has to keep in his top 50 that don't align with consensus.
Blake Miller, 18th overall.
Despite what scouts are saying. Once again, I'm just giving opinions here. I don't completely identify with consensus.
Yeah, I'm just saying he was reputable. Blake Miller, 19th overall.
In 2020, he had Jalen Hurts at 50, a guy who wasn't with consensus. This year, the guy he couldn't keep out of his top 50, despite the traits, despite what he was hearing, is a guy he fell in love with, D'Angelo Pons. Pons is a size exception. There's no question to that. He is an exception. But there's no real film-based evidence that his length or his lack of height will actually keep him back from stopping outside receivers. I think he's an outside corner in the NFL. I think there's really no evidence besides the testing to give anything contrary to that. If his height ends up being an issue and he actually can't hold up on the outside because he has first percentile arms, I think that there's an 85% chance he ends up being an above average to very good elite nickel or slot defender because of his tackling and run game prowess. I think if Pons had average height, if he was 5'11", and if he had average arm length, 30.5-inch, 31-inch arms, I think he'd be the first corner off the board above Monsieur Delane.
Yeah. So one thing I want to add about D'Angelo Pons, and Miles brought about how important he is to that Indiana team. And Indiana was the national champion. And so if you are incredibly important to the best team...
It sounds like one of your segues.
In college football. No, it's not. It says something about you and what you can do. And if you're the best team in college football, it's not the NFL, but it tells me that it translates because it's playing at the highest level of essentially the G League of the NFL at that point. And the proof that he was that important to that team was because he could go up to Cignetti and go, "Hey, are you going to put me in offense? Can I get some running snaps? Can I get some screen snaps? Come on, please, come on." And he'll do it. Because you know that the second string, the third string, if they asked Cignetti would probably punch him in the throat.
Yeah. But, I mean, he was so important to the team that he actually got offensive snaps for Indiana.
Yeah.
He had quite a few targets this past year, including the college football playoff.
Yep.
Kind of feels like he's like Travis Huntery if he's on offense. Like the really wiry frame, but like really good burst. And you're like, how is this skinny guy doing that?
Moving like this, yeah. Anyways, with Pons, I have him at 24 on my board with this ultra high. I think that he profiles as an above average outside corner in the NFL, and if he can't make it outside because of his lack of length, I think he'll be a great nickel defender for 10 years in the NFL. And this is the one outlier who I'll bet on.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, question for you. Do you feel like he makes more sense? We're seeing slot corners getting bigger and bigger as they become more a part of the run game against like multiple tight end sets. Do you think maybe it makes more sense for Pons to play outside because we're seeing X receivers get smaller and slot corners getting bigger? Like maybe if he has the coverage chops, maybe it makes more sense to play him outside.
Yeah, that's a great point. Reminds me a lot of Nate Wiggins.
Sure.
Wiggins is, I think, 5'9", $185, similar frame to
like
Pons.
185.
A little bit better length than that, but a guy's on the outside. The difference is Pons is great at tackling. Will he get washed out in the run game against tight ends? Yeah, just physically. He has no chance physics-wise.
Yeah.
But I think you actually do make a great point. He might make more sense outside, especially given the way the NFL operates now.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I have a guy that in this episode is considered a butt rocket. Okay. I hesitate on prospects that are in the top 100 calling them butt rockets.
No, we are butt rocketing them.
I know that's how it works.
It's a verb.
But it doesn't feel good.
Miles thinks Blake Miller is going to be a starter in the NFL. Actually, we don't even know him.
I think Miles is.
He pushed
honestly
it.
Is
you
out.
know what? That guy he pushed me to a place I didn't want to be today.
No,
too far.
And so, my butt rocket is a guy that I am solely just much lower on than consensus is, and that guy is Denzel Boston.
Oh, dang!
I know Denzel Boston, 6'4", 212. He has that frame that you look at and you're like, I don't know how this guy isn't going to be good at football in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
He has that. I'll give it to him. And he's also a likable guy. He's a good character guy, big team builder guy. And so me calling him a butt rocket because he's a team building guy and he has the frame doesn't make me feel good.
Okay.
But I watch film. That's something you guys need to know. We watch film. We pay for it.
Occasionally.
All the time. All the time.
On occasion.
I watch film when I'm shooting a butt rocket guy into the sky. I watch film.
When I'm working,
Yeah.
I'm watching film. When I'm sleeping, I'm watching film.
And so the thing is, Denzel Boston didn't run a 40. That was the one thing that I saw that I was like, this guy on film, I'm like, he's slow. He's not shifty. He doesn't have much bend.
Mm-hmm.
And his contested catch is about all he really has to me.
Sure.
But if you're forced to make contested catches all the time, I don't like that. And then he ends up not even running the 40. And I'm like, you're leaving me to assume that, honestly, it's not really reasonable. I'm guessing like low 4.6s.
Yeah, 4.8. I was 4.6. Yeah,
4.8?
Probably 4.6. 4.9. I mean.
Yeah. And so, like, the things I'm looking at Boston, I'm like, his release package definitely needs work. But to the point, I'm like, I don't know if he has that in him, if he's playing at this high level of college football, that he can even get that much better at it. Very straight line, and he's straight line, and he's not even that fast. And so as I'm like,
True.
I don't know what the heck's going on here. And we brought it up last time. He had his worst production against the best competition. And that tells me that if there's NFL prospect corners on you, you can't do it.
Yeah.
And it'd be different if it was
It couldn't be a quarterback or scheme-based thing. It's solely siloed to exactly him on his own.
Well, why did he have good competition?
I
Why did
don't
he have
know.
good production?
Wide receiver production has so many variables that you want to see it on the whole, but if you're going to spread it out into games, it's like that's only 35 snaps maybe only 22 passing attempts.
Matt, I don't think he can separate. I don't think he's fast. He's in line. He's
all
big.
that's valid.
He can block though. If you want a blocker, he can block.
No black, no rat.
I'm just like I don't see it with this guy. We talked about it in what were our best fits kind of.
Sure.
I see Denzel Boston. If Denzel Boston got to Kansas City, hell yeah.
29.
If Denzel Boston got to anywhere that a quarterback has insane accuracy,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
If he has to make up for stuff on his own,
Yeah.
this guy, I don't see him doing anything in the NFL. I really don't.
I don't think you want him to be your wide receiver one.
And the thing is, I don't like. And people say he has that upside. Even on a team like if he was in Kansas City, I'm like no, I'm still not buying the guy. But that's where I see him being relevant.
Sure. Oh yeah.
And at this point, I'm like, every time I look at Denzel Boston and watch his film, I'm like, I want to like this guy, but I can't.
Yeah.
I just can't.
He's not juiced up.
He's not juiced up.
He's definitely the opposite of what you like with wide receivers.
Yeah.
He's everything you don't look for in
Yeah.
a wide receiver.
You like
for you
100,
personally.
You like 130-pound cucks that sprint
No.
a million miles per hour.
Which is so fucked up because you look at Alec Iomanner and you're like,
Yeah, what? Denzel Boston, Iomanner, I feel like play, they're in a somewhat similar archetype. You got to
okay,
say.
but Alec,
Yeah.
Alec at least had some releases. His mid-level releases were good.
Yeah, so does Boston.
No. I don't see
Okay.
any sort of his releases.
I will
being
give a
good.
defense of Boston as
Please.
I agree with the consensus. I like him at like pick 27. I don't need him at pick 19, but I don't need him at pick 37.
And
either.
so before you get into that, I'll say, if my team drafts this guy ahead of mid-second, I'm going to be upset. I see him going before then.
yeah.
Yeah.
My argument for Boston is like you have a 3-receiver set. There's only so many guys that can like play in the 10-yard range.
Yeah.
That like if you think Mekhi Lemon's better than Boston, which we all do.
Yeah.
But like if your receiver room doesn't have the guy that you can first of all can block for you. That matters on at least 30% of the snaps. And then can like go down the field and maybe he doesn't get a ton of separation, but he gets enough to set his body up for what he knows is going to be contact to maybe win a contested catch. And not everyone's going to, because sometimes there's zone, it's not all man. I think he has decent feel for zone, even if he doesn't have elite separation. And I think he can help your receiving room. He can help your team. He can be used as like, if you're thinking like mercenary level guy, MVS is the guy that every offense wants to occasionally bring in Marquez Valdez-Scantling because they cannot open the field up.
Yeah.
But he's the mercenary level. At the high level, people, are looking at Carnell Tate doing that.
Mm-hmm.
JSN was actually doing that a lot, which was surprising. People didn't see that in his profile. George Pickens has done that historically. Alec Pierce just got paid $30 million to do that. And he doesn't get a lot of yards, but Alec Pierce.
Rashid Shaheed.
Oh, Shaheed, yeah.
Perfect example.
The Seahawks traded a fourth and a sixth and then paid him $18 million a year.
And then you saw JSN actually starting
To stretch
to
the field.
succeed.
Yeah.
Doing what he's good at.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it's just like, it's not necessarily sexy, but it helps your offense maybe more than you think.
Mm-hmm.
Denzel Boston minus 190 to go in the first round right now per FanDuel.
And the thing is, I see it.
Yep.
To me, it makes sense. It's just I'm not buying it. It's like if I have to sell one stock, I'm selling Denzel Boston. Honestly, in a perfect world, I'd have a beer with Denzel Boston. I'd have a beer with Denzel Boston. I'd come back to
And
you guys
then
and
I'd
be
shoot
like,
him in the face.
Yo, what's wrong with you,
and I'd
man?
choke him out.
and I'd be like, I'd come back here and be like, you know what? Kind of in on Denzel Boston now.
Yeah, like he's so nice to the lunch lady.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly how I'd be with Blake Miller.
All the bartenders, they said, this guy, I don't know what it is about this guy. Everyone else here, they're cool. They're all right. But Denzel, dude, Denzel is him.
All right. You guys ready for a butt rocket?
Sure am.
This is hard for me. I'm not the most takey guy. I'm kind of like analytics, pushes his glasses up.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what I have to say about this draft class and positional value. So I'm trying to think, how do I take my nerdy brain and apply it to something where I actually feel strongly about it? And this all comes down to actually being a GM and making a selection, not like big boards. Jeremiah Love should not go at 4, and he should not go at 7.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, if I'm gonna look at a draft board, I have to think about it as I'm a team and I'm committing to this guy. And so when I look at the whole first round, I like a lot of these guys. I like where they're going. I think it makes a lot of sense because I'm not very confident about making picks. But if I'm the Tennessee Titans and David Bailey and Arvell Reese go off the board, so I'm looking at, I could take Reuben Bain, I could take Carnell Tate, I could take Sonny Styles. Who else is at the top here? I could take Mansour Delane. I could take an offensive lineman. Like they don't have their tackles are not set long term. Dan Moore has been a question mark. J.C. Latham has been a question mark. If I'm the Titans, I'd rather just say I'm gonna force Maui Noah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna force Fano, and those guys are not sexy. Or I'm gonna maybe even force Carnell Tate or Reuben Bain. Like I'm not Robert Saleh and I'm not Mike Borgonzi, I think. But like pick those 4 guys: Maui Noah, Fano, Carnell Tate, Reuben Bain. Those are the guys I'm going to take if I'm the Titans at 4. I do not think Love is going to like put your team over the top. And if you wanted a running back, why didn't you just sign Travis Etienne or Kenneth Walker?
Yeah, I think so. From what I'm getting from that, your gripe is less with Jeremiah Love as a prospect, right?
It's where he's being valued.
It's where people are thinking about drafting him. Not his necessarily him as a prospect or what you think he's going to do.
But at the end of the day, the value of a prospect is where you draft him. It's one and the same.
So I guess what I'm getting at is it's essentially with people not understanding that you have to pay this guy. You have to pay him top running back money.
Uh-huh.
If he goes 4th overall, he'd be the 8th highest paid running back as his rookie year.
Without even playing a snap in the NFL.
And he's worth that, but you also lost your 4th overall pick. Whereas if you wanted to add a running back to your team, add some money to those Travis Etienne or Kenneth Walker contracts and draft Reuben Bain or Maui Noah or,
Right. If you take Tate, Maui Noah, or Bain, they'll be like the 50th or 60th highest paid guy.
And then I'll push it one farther. You go down the line, like Giants probably aren't going to pick him, we think, because of Tyrone Tracy and Cam Scatterbu. Browns not. They need different pieces. Judkins is fine. And then it comes down to Commanders. People often like to put him to the Commanders. If Reuben Bain is still on the board, which I've seen him a lot, the Commanders need to fix their defense. They brought in Odafe Owe. I think they should draft Reuben Bain over Jeremiah Love.
Totally agree.
And then it gets the Chiefs and Saints who have running backs, and then you're falling to 10 overall. Is that the Dolphins?
Dolphins are 11. Chiefs are 10. No, Chiefs are 10.
I think Chiefs are 8 and 9 are Saints
Chiefs
and
are
Chiefs.
9.
Chiefs
10's
are 9.
Bengals. 10's Bengals.
Chiefs are 9. Bengals are 10.
So maybe we get in a scenario where someone wants to trade. Like I could see him going in that 8, 9, 10 range, and
Vikings.
yeah, I don't want to trade up for him, but it depends how much you have to give up.
Yeah.
What the trade market looks like. But I'd rather see him go in the 9 to 12 range than the 4 to 8 range.
I think that lies more in just you understanding how much you value running backs.
I just find it crazy. I totally agree with you on Love in terms of value. I think it's ridiculous how much fucking goldfish brain, even like the smartest guys right now, all the smartest analysts are saying, oh yeah, Love at 4, great. I get he's a great player. But at some point you have to separate yourself from the film and just consider things from a value perspective. We've seen this. We know how this plays out. We know what Ashton Genty looks like. The Titans do not have a good offensive line. We know what it looks like when teams are like,
dude, or even Bijan. Even Bijan too. Like Bijan's playing well. He's a good running back.
Yeah.
When the
Falcons did Kyle Pitts and then Bijan back to back, it's like these elite non-premium positions. It's like
it didn't matter because they don't have an offensive line. And Gibbs, who they took at 12, worked because the Lions had an awesome offensive line.
The Falcons didn't have a defensive line at that point. Their offense was they didn't have a quarterback and they didn't have a defensive line. But still, it's like you need these premium positions. Don't use your first rounder on a running back and a tight end.
The Falcons had
4.
The Falcons had an average offensive line. They didn't have the Lions' offensive line. Here's the question. The first spot I personally would feel comfortable taking Love would be the Cowboys at 12. I know they need defense, but they have a good to very good offensive line with a track record of taking good talent there. And he has I think, given the space they can make with their blocking and their run scheme, I would feel confident in saying that Love is such a ceiling lifter that you could get. And the thing is, when you're taking a rookie running back, these guys wear out so quick and their lifespan is so short that the timer starts from their first carry in the NFL.
Yeah.
And, like you can't count on Love being good if you sign him to, if you take him in the first round, it's 5 years, right? And then his second year contract is 4 years. How many running backs are great when he's not thick? He's not Derrick Henry. How many running backs are great for 9 years and super healthy the whole time?
Not many. Typically 27 is like a point where you're done with your plateau. 28, 29, 30, you're going down each year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you're Derrick Henry, who's the only exception.
Yeah, there's exceptions, but there's also like Zeke didn't last very long for a first round pick. Saquon tore his ACL in the Giants, and then they didn't know how to re-sign him. Like
Todd Gurley.
Yeah, these guys where it's like they change your franchise, but like, yeah, the Giants should have re-signed Saquon, but it wasn't insane when they did it because he's just a running back and he had ACL. Like it's hard to know.
There is one comp that I saw that did work out, and I think it was the 2001 draft. The Chargers traded up 2-4 from I think it was like 9 or
for
something
LT
like that, for LaDainian Tomlinson.
Yeah, I do think the way running back works in the NFL has just changed since 2012.
And back then, running backs were paid as like a top 5 position in 2001.
Yeah.
They're not paid that way anymore.
True, you can get them on the cheap. Yeah, they were paid like more than receivers.
Guys got taken in the top 10 all the time back in the 90s. No one questioned it.
I looked at, I'm a sicko. The 2005 Bears drafted a running back, Cedric Benson, at like 2 overall. They had a running back on their roster, Tommy Brown, that was a top 5 pick in the 2002 draft.
Whoa.
And then just like eventually signed on the Bears. So I'm like, they had a guy that went for 1,300 yards in the 2005 season. But before the draft, before that season, they picked a guy in the top 5. They were like, we need 2 elite running backs. Like no one would ever do that nowadays.
I'm just so shocked by the goldfish brain that everyone has. I know I'm saying that again, but like I can't believe how all these really smart people are like, yeah, love it. 4 makes a ton of sense. It's just like,
because you can't add great offensive linemen in free agency.
No, never.
Yeah.
And you can find, I would say Achane and Walker are on that good to great level. Like, not great, but they're serviceable. They're good. You like them on your team.
Who's the Titans left tackle? The guy from the Steelers.
Dan Moore.
That's why they're paying $20 million a year to the 25th best tackle in the NFL.
Yeah,
Dan
if
Moore.
you wanted to pay $20 million for a running back, I mean, or trade a 4th and pay $20 million, is what you'd probably have to do. But.
Yeah. I'm just so shocked how everyone's brain gets wiped. It's like, oh, but he's a great player. He's the best player in the draft. It's like, let's have some fucking. We know this doesn't work. We know how this goes. And by the time that if the Titans are ever actually good in 3 years and Ward's developed, and then they have to add receiver and they have to have offensive line talent, by that point you're on the third year of Love's rookie contract and you have to extend him at a top 5 number in the NFL.
Yeah, so we all agree Blake Miller to the Titans at 4.
That'd be the icing on the cake. So if you're Blake Miller and you listen to this and you're like, I don't know what to think about this. Do I like this? Do I not like this? I don't know. Comment down below, dude. Like, subscribe. We love you, too. And we love everyone else that listens to
If you're Blake Miller, comment down below.
Yeah.
Thanks, Blake.
Yeah, let us know if you guys have any guys in this draft that you're like, this guy, you guys are dumb. He is him. Why haven't you seen him? Why haven't you talked about him? Let us know. If you guys have some butt rockets, comment butt rocket, hashtag that player, and we'll like it. We'll comment. We'll shout you out.
Disagreement's a healthy part of our podcast, and I personally thought it was very fun.
I'm going to awkwardly edit this into the beginning of the video. Now we're back at the end of the episode because I cut weird. See ya.
Goodbye.